Hi there, my name is Sandy Zemmer. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be joining my close to my heart twisted sisters on a YouTube hop. I'm going to be twisting up this Perched Budgies Stampin' Thin Cut set. So here's a look at the set. It's got all of the thin cuts and I've got them lined up on some white daisy cardstock here, holding them in place with some washi tape, running them through my close to my heart die cut machine. I love this machine. And you'll see they come out just fantastic. Now I did go ahead and thin cut all of those pieces because I wasn't sure which ones I was going to use today. But I ended up just using a few of them, actually most of them by the time I'm done. So here is that bird cage, and that's what I'm going to start with. So I've cut a sheet of 6x8 white daisy cardstock. And I'm using the toffee ink pad here and the blender brush. I had originally taped it in place and then I thought, well, that's silly because I want to ink the whole thing. So I'm sort of using it as a stencil, if you will, and creating the background. Now, this is so much fun because you could do this with any thin cut really. And it's sort of like random stamping when we do backgrounds. But I really like this concept. And again, you can use it with any thin cut that you have. But I have some budgies that my kids had when they were little, and I thought this is a great opportunity to put this in an album and just create some memories using those budgies. So here you can see I've sort of done some of it on camera and some of it off camera, just finishing up this page, again using the toffee and the blender brush. And in a moment you'll see that I'm going to use the blender brush just around the edges as well, just to sort of give it a little bit of depth and finish it off so that it doesn't look so much like white daisy, but that it actually looks like paper that has been trimmed. And you'll see also as I did that, I went ahead and I put that cage off the edges as well so that it does look like paper. So here I'm using the avocado and the pine. Now I did not prime this stamp. I wanted it to have a different texture. So you'll see when I lift it up that it's a little bit bubbly, but that is in fact what I was going for. And I had done one off camera as well, so you can see them there. Now I have some toffee cardstock here, and it is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm just using the toffee ink pad, and I'm just creating a little bit of a edge here. And I'm kind of going onto the paper on purpose, and you'll see when I hold this up what I've done, and I just really like the look of that. It just makes it look a little bit more natural and not so perfect. I'm also doing that on these little strips here. Now they were made for the sentiments that say thinking of you, hello there, and thanks friend, but I'm actually going to use them as my journaling spots. So you can see here I'm doing a couple different techniques. I'm swiping that, and then I just decided I'm just going to mush down. That's a technical term, moosh down on it and just create a little bit of texture on those white pieces of white daisy as well. Now I'm just kind of laying this out, deciding what I want to do for my layout. And I'm using the same technique. I'm kind of mooshing in one and a little bit in the other and just creating some light and dark using that pine and the avocado ink. And I'm going to do 2 going up and 2 going down. And then I'm going to layer my pieces on here. Now you can see that I've left that so that I can lift it up and slide my photo underneath, but I can still do some journaling on there. So both of these pieces are like that. And again, I'm just sort of trying to lay this out and decide how I want this all together, to go together, pardon me. I want to be able to see those leaves that I stamped in the background, as well as these die cut pieces. So I sort of play around with it a little bit, move it up and down until I get the layout that I like. And I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to commit to that. Now I'm going to color up these budgies, and I've stamped those budgies with the black intense ink. And I'm using ice blue and jade green to color the budgies, and the gold brown I'm using on their little feet. You can see where those dark lines are. The artist has actually made it so that we know where to shade. So Those dark lines sort of indicate that we can use a darker ink of our tri-blend markers there, and it just helps to create a little bit of depth. So now I'm grabbing that gold brown, and that's for the feet and just kind of around the beak and the eyes. And there's the jade green. And I've done quite a bit of the coloring off camera here, and I've also sped it up because I don't want to bore you with that. You've seen me do that before. And there's our little birdies. And I'm just going to perch them onto those leaves on one side. And then I want to perch this guy right onto that photo on the other side, sort of on that journaling piece. And there you have it. It's pretty much done. But I do decide to go around with my little brown pen here, my Le Pen, the sepia, and just create a quick border, just again to add a little bit more to it. And I think I will also use that sepia pen for my journaling. So here's a little bit of a close-up look of that. Now I have this piece that I've obviously inked up using the toffee. And when I saw it originally, I thought, I think this would make a great flower pot. So I'm just cutting off those extra pieces, and I'm going to make it into a flower pot. So there's another twist, another way that we can use these thin cuts. So I'm just adding some wet glue, that's our Tombow glue, and I'm putting it on the light side of a piece of toffee cardstock I have here. And then I am just going to fussy cut around it. Now, I don't have it totally stuck down, so my scissors will sneak underneath there, and it's pretty easy to cut. I can almost cut straight across this part right here. I don't have to worry about, the circle part. And again, I do that at the bottom as well. So now I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white daisy here, and I'm just doing another technique with this toffee ink pad. I'm just swiping it across all 4 sides just to create a background. And I'm going to place that fun little planter there. Now there's this chain, and I thought, well, isn't that just perfect for hanging that planter? So I'm doing 2 angled ones and one up the middle, and then one second generation a little off the side, so it looks like that chain is coming from behind. Now I'm using the stamp of the month and my Black Intense ink, and I'm just doing these little flowers from that Bee's Knees stamp set. And then I'm coming in with my Dream Maker stamp set here, and it's got sort of that splotch. And so I'm just going to put that on a block, and I'm going to use my flamingo ink here, and I'm literally just going to stamp all over those cute little flowers, and that's how I'm going to color them. So a quick and easy way to do it, and they turn out just great. I'm using this gold metallic marker, and I'm using the 3mm here just to create the centers. And again, I'm grabbing that leafy section there, and I'm going to use some Post-it notes to just cover up a bit of it. I'm straight stamping with the avocado this time, just creating some leaves in the background. I decide that I want one hanging down as well, so I'm just kind of using that corner. And there we go. I'm not worried about the fact that it's not stamping right to the very bottom because I'm going to cover that up with flowers. I'm going to use that big sentiment there. There are souls in this world who have the gift of finding joy everywhere and of leaving it behind when they go. I love that. So I'm using the Black Intense ink there. I've gone ahead and I've put adhesive on the backs of these flowers. And you'll see here that I'm using some dimensional adhesive as well. And some of them are getting popped up a little bit, and some of them are just straight down. So I've got those ones straight down, and I've got 2 popped up. And I thought it would be fun to add the 7th one down here by the sentiment. And I like that, but I just want to turn it just a tiny bit. So I really like how that's coming out. So I'm going to add that onto my card front. And again, I'm going to go around and I'm going to draw some lines. This time I'm using my black pen for that. So that's pretty much done, but I thought, oh, it's going to be fun to just do something interesting on the envelope. So I grabbed my toffee ink there, just swooshed it on, did a little bit of avocado stamping with those leaves again. And I have 2 of these flowers that are not on dimensionals and 1 that is. So I'm going to pop that last one up. And look at how cute that is together. Isn't that just awesome? What a great twist for that bird cage turned into a planter. So here again are the close-ups of those. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope that you will go to my website, sandyzim.closetomyheart, and purchase some items from me. I will list in the description all of the products used. I'd love it if you hit the bell to subscribe. Again, my name is Sandy Zimmer, and I am with the Close to My Heart Twisted Sisters for this YouTube hop. Please also check in the description for a link to all of the other Twisted Sisters YouTubes. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.